So check this out. Do you believe success requires you to be naive or smart? I'm Joy, the synergistic kinesiologist, and I help to supercharge your superhuman. I actually met a guy in St. Louis, Missouri, who owns this successful strip in St. Louis called the Delmar Loop. And when I met him, I asked him a simple question that I ask every person who has what appears to be success in health or wellness or in their careers or in their relationships. I think that you should always be a student in life and pick up what other people are putting down. So I asked this guy, what is his number one tip on becoming successful? And his response was to always stay naive. And at first I was a little shocked and confused by his comment. And then he went on to say that if he had known all the facts, if he had only used logic, he would not have pursued his passions and ideas for what he did with turning that whole strip around. Because the facts and the ideas and all of the things that he wanted to do, everything around him showed that it was not a good idea. It was not a good time. It would not be successful. However, something in him said, go for it. And he couldn't stop thinking about it. And he decided to go for it anyway. And it turned out to be a huge success for generations to come. Now, here's the deal. I think that this society that we live in puts too much emphasis on freaking being smart. And they actually train us to be robots and to just trust and do. And if it doesn't make sense, then to not do it. And what I'm here to tell you is everything that is in you, that is invisible because it's in you and you have not created it yet, but you have these ideas and you have these thoughts and dreams to create it. It is coming from you, from God, which is in the 4 and 5D realm. We live in the 3D realm. This realm trusts the 5 senses. So if it doesn't make sense to the eyes or the ears or to touch, then it tells you don't do it, don't proceed. But you have to train yourself to trust your intuition and to know that that's more valuable than anything, because your intuition even knows what's to come. It knows what is beyond the sight and the touch and the hearing and the smell. It knows the past, the present, and the future, and it knows your gifts and desires and dreams and what your potential is. So when you learn to trust this God-given gift, what will happen is then you'll realize and start to just accept that the ideas and dreams you have may not make sense to anybody but you, but they're still valid. The next thing I want to say about it is this. Everything in your recipe for success is not going to include all wins. You're going to have wins and losses. The kicker is the losses aren't losses. It's actually developing you for something greater, for something that's deeper and bigger that you have the potential to create. Let me give you a personal example. See this right here, people? See it, huh? Do you? Check this out. You want to know what that is? That is something I created a while ago called Depression Detox Gum. It was a flop. Let me say that again. It was a flop. The medicinals within it was supposed to create the feeling to help you reduce anxiety and stress and help regulate your mood. However, in actual formulation, it was not a good end product. The end product was way too waxy, and it wasn't big enough to deliver enough of the medicinals to make a bigger impact right away. So therefore, it was a flop. And this is what I had in mind, just FYI, when I created it. Remember this candy right here that we had when we were kids? Well, that's actually how I wanted it to be in formulation. I wanted it to look like that, have that consistency, have the medicinals within it in liquid form so that when you chewed it, it had a high absorbability rate. But the bottom line is it did not do what I thought it was going to be able to do. But I didn't cry and say life sucks and say that I'm not good enough. No, it allowed me to go deeper because in me, there was something more. Did you just catch that? In me, there was something more. And now today I'm actually excited because I'm launching my fitness mat system, which is a culmination of everything that I've done to help people in our studio. And now it's an at-home system. So all of the things I created, the hits and the misses, were all for today. It was all for this moment. It was all for this point in not only the present, but in the future as a legacy to my name and my brand and you.